division.
I'll tell you what, let's bring in a man whose diving days are well behind him. Jeff Winters, our resident referee.
Bombing.
Evening,
No
Jeff.
water left in the pool.
Now, we always give you a 9.9 here on the show because you always give us top analysis. Where do you stand on this debate? I was just to update you on what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the views of Sergio Aguero, who reckons that referees, that you're more likely, basically, to get a penalty in this country if you are English. And I was reading the stats declare since 2002-03, the most penalties awarded, the players that have got the most penalties, Andy Johnson with 14, Ashley Young and Darren Bent with 11, Gabriel Agbonlahor with 10, along with Peter Crouch, and Steven Gerrard with 9. Where do you stand on this debate, Jeff?
Well, Darren, I think figures can tell you anything, and I don't think those figures say anything other than those players got penalties, you know, whether they were handballs, dives, or what they were. But I think Mr. Aguero needn't bother about winning penalties or not being given, because after those comments, I think he'll be having a few games in the stands.
Why though? Why, Jeff? What? Do we live in a police state? Can't he not speak his mind?
Well, we've had talk about racism, we've had talk about other things, and everybody pulls the hair out. He's turning around and calling referees cheats here. That's the bottom line. He's turning around and calling referees cheats, and that is not the case. I mean, if we were going to take the other angle that was very, very popular a few years ago, and that was the fact that it was the foreign players who perhaps introduced diving into English football. And certainly it's picked up at a pace, but for him to come with a statement like that, I think is absolutely ludicrous.
For once, Jeff, I disagree with you. I mean, he's raising a debate, and the stats. You obviously don't think much of the stats, but the stats do appear to suggest that there is a trend of English players winning more penalties than foreign ones. Flash here in the studio was talking about the times he dived, and that, you know, before the influx of foreign players, and everyone likes to kind of claim that it caught on when they arrived. I think Sergio Aguero is raising a debate, which is important to have, surely.
Well, I'm all for debate, and, you know, shows like this are excellent in giving everybody the chance to have an opinion. But, you know, he's not raising a debate. He's being very controversial. And if he believes that referees favour homegrown players over foreign players, then comments like this from him are hardly going to help his cause, are they?
I'm with you, Jeff. I think this is another of those examples where perhaps players are stepping out of line a little bit and commenting on issues that really don't concern them. Aguero should be concentrating on just delivering the best results possible for his club. In a similar way, Mancini got very upset with Joe Hart when he came out with those comments post-match a couple of weeks ago, talking
after
about
Real Madrid.
After the Real Madrid game.
Well, look, I'll tell you what I want to do, because we are the station for the fans, I want to bring our fan in. I don't want us all to kind of hog the conversation. Alex is watching the West Ham game, but where do you stand on diving, Alex? Where do you stand? Is Sergio Aguero right to claim that referees favour foreign players? Stay with us, Jeff, because I do want to bring Alex in to get his views on this. Alex?
It's so tough, because the foreign players are the ones that have brought. I don't think that's open for debate. Since the Premier League and the influx of foreign players, diving has become part of the game. But I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed to see Suarez now be given like the harsh end of the stick, because that's such a blatant penalty on Saturday against Norwich. I mean, it was so blatant, but because of what's happened before him, the referee hasn't given it to him.
You see, go on, Jeff. Go on, Jeff.
Yeah, I think let's not talk about the penalty on Saturday or the penalty that wasn't given as being one about Suarez's reputation. I don't think it was anything at all to do with that. If you watch the television, of course it was blatant, of course it was a penalty, we all saw it. But that rather large centre-half that brought his elbow down into the back of into the back of Suarez is completely obliterating the referee's view. So, you know, that is a penalty that has been missed because of where it was and the positioning of the referee. In my opinion, nothing at all to do with Suarez's reputation.
I think it's to do with both, though. Like, I don't think you can say that it's nothing to do with Suarez's reputation. Of course, it has something to do with it. I think, oh no,
Oh,
my
goodness.
word! Oh,
What
Jeff,
a goal.
I'm sure you're watching there and you know why we've basically leapt out of our seats. There's been a goal at Loftus Road. Alex is watching in between joining the debate. Alex, describe it for us and tell us which way it's gone.
Tarab's been on the field for about 2 minutes. He's picked up the ball on the left-hand touchline. He's cut in and he's just scored a Tarab special, just curled it into the top corner. Jaskalainen, no chance. 2-1.
That is a wonderful, wonderful goal, guys.
And this is why we talked about earlier, having flair, having some quality in your team that are able to effectively convert a goal from nowhere.
And he's been injured all season as well. And this is what we were talking about, Queen's Park Rangers having a little bit of strength in depth. I'll tell you what, if you want to have a little look, West Ham fans were 2-0 up at half-time. They did get the goal in 57 minutes, which was prior to the hour that we said that they would need. You have a look now. This will be a completely different Queen's Park Rangers for the last half an hour.
We need to bring in all sorts here, so I'm going to just give you the last word, Jeff, because we've got to do the odds and everything
I
else.
had a question for Jeff.
Go on then, very quickly.
Jeff, do you think, and I have my own thoughts on this, but just for your own thoughts, do you think that there has been a penalty denied because of a player's reputation?
The honest answer is that I hope not. I think subconsciously, Gordon, subconsciously, it's got to affect you as a fan, you as a player watching a game of football, and Ronaldo. Let's talk about someone who's not playing in this country. Ronaldo goes down in the penalty area. Your first reaction is, I'd like to see that again, because he's got a bit of a reputation. So the referee doesn't get the chance to see it again. Subconsciously, in the back of his mind, who knows, then maybe it goes against the player with a reputation, most definitely. And that can happen whether you're a foreign player or indeed a homegrown player.
Jeff, as always, fantastic.